All right, let's get some answers and get them quick. We go to the nation's capital, check in with Anthony Slater from The Athletic. And let's just say I've got an imaginary panic button in front of me. Do I reach out and press it now?
I feel like you're late to press it. I feel
Oh,
like it's been pressed recently. Maybe after the Spurs loss, maybe after the Magic loss, Hawks, Wizards, all four of those in the last 8 days. Those are four. The Hawks are the only of those four teams that like might be in the play-in, and they're 10th in the East. So that's four bad losses. Like Steph Curry's absence or not, they are playing poor at a bad time. They're experimenting with rotations. Draymond Green's trying to find himself. Andre Iguodala might come back tomorrow, so I guess that's a glimmer of good news. But it's getting late pretty early right now.
by nature, I consider you a glass half full guy. Just from the tone of your voice, I'm not feeling great. What's the solution here?
Well, okay, I'll give you the glass half full take. Like, things could still line up. Draymond Green, who I thought in the second half in D.C. quietly like turned the engines on a little bit. I mean, it led to a flagrant foul, a technical foul, but he also had like 4 steals. He was kind of zooming up and down the court. It seemed like he was trying to get himself going. So if he finds himself in the next couple of weeks, he's a difference maker. Iguodala, like I said, maybe if he can stay healthy, he adds some rotational punch. Steph Curry, the expectation still is he'll be back, 2 games, 1 game before the playoffs, maybe, game 1 or round 1. If everything lines up and they stay completely healthy, I think they've proven they could be at worst like a coin flip in a series. The problem is, do we all expect all those like ifs to line up at exactly the right time? Maybe. If you are glass half full, then the answer is maybe yes.
That's a big, giant IF there. That's a huge F that you're throwing out there. Hey, moving forward, I mean, as this team is clearly leaking oil as we head to the finish of this regular season, I still have a hard time seeing somebody beat these guys 4 out of 7.
There is reason to believe with the Warriors, and as you said, that they should. Historically, Steve Kerr's staff has been good adjusting within series. You go down 2-1, but maybe you figure some stuff out. I can see the optimistic side, but it is also tough when I sat in this very seat, flipped around looking that way tonight, and watched the Wizards, pretty easily beat them 2 nights after the Hawks beat them. So,
if you're the coach of this team, what do you tell him moving forward?
He's trying to figure out himself, like the rotations. I mean, they changed the starting line. Kevon Looney had started 94 straight games for this franchise. They flipped that the other day because now they're trying to split Draymond and Kevon Looney. They tried a rookie in the starting lineup, Kuminga. He gets pulled tonight in the second half because Kuminga hasn't played well as a starter the last 2 games. Otto Porter's in there. He's searching. He's even admitting it to us. He's experimenting at a time of the year where experimentation is usually not a good thing. You want to, everything to be coming together at this time. And like you said, leaking oil, I think is a very good term for it. But as I think this recent play is also proving, like number 30, Steph Curry, is an answer to a lot of these issues. And the truth is, their belief still remains Steph Curry will be there in the playoffs. So if he is, and if, vintage Draymond Green or even December Draymond Green is there, they suddenly win a lot of games. I mean, they were 28-6 with Draymond Green before this back calf injury. The version we've seen since hasn't been him. Maybe he can rediscover it.
Is there a game over the course of these last 7 where you're just maybe kind of circling going, okay, if these guys are going to be who they are, get up to 30 assists a game, spread that ball around, defense creates the offense. Is there one matchup you're looking for? You're like, okay, let's see how they do with that.
Well, it won't be tomorrow. The original thought was like Memphis Warriors this game, and Memphis could be for the second seed. Second seed out the window, and they're very likely going to rest their veterans tomorrow. The big one from a seeding perspective left is Utah at home coming up this week, because if Utah climbs up to the second, that's for the tiebreaker. To me, that's the biggest remaining game on their schedule. But if you're looking for one where you could feel like this could be the playoff version of themselves, they have 3 off days after a back-to-back next weekend, where it's possible if Steph Curry's foot's feeling really good, maybe he gets a couple practices in and he gets a home game against the Lakers, the fading Los Angeles Lakers. And that could be the time where you do feel like they're turning on. It's 3 games before the end of the regular season and maybe a Steph Curry sighting, because I really don't think we're going to see the playoff version of them until we see Steph Curry back in the lineup.
Hey, man, thanks so much for a few minutes, and hey, safe trip to Memphis.
Yep, thanks for having me.